Welcome to Stoic Inner Power. Today we explore the profound transformation of the sensitive soul when they choose authentic freedom. There comes a quiet moment when a sensitive heart realizes that keeping the peace has meant waging war against itself. You have spent years carefully editing your words and suppressing your true feelings just to ensure everyone around you feels comfortable. This constant need to please others is not kindness. It is a heavy chain that drags your spirit into deep exhaustion. But the moment you decide to stop performing for others is not the moment you become cold, but when you awaken. It is a shift from darkness to light, where you finally see clearly that your worth is not defined by approval. Let us turn to the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, who ruled an empire but fought his hardest battles within his mind. He reminds us that death is not what we should fear most, but rather we should fear never beginning to live. For too long, you have worn a mask to satisfy the audience of your life, forgetting the actor beneath the costume. Every second you spend pretending to be someone else is a precious moment of your existence that is lost forever. To live authentically is to accept that your time is limited and must not be squandered on the opinions of others. Epictetus, born a slave, taught us that true freedom begins the very moment we stop handing the keys to others. He emphasized that if you want to be free, you cannot allow your happiness to depend on things you cannot control. When you seek validation, you become a slave to every person you meet, constantly changing your shape to fit their mold. But when you reclaim your mind, you realize that no one has the power to disturb your peace without your permission. This mental freedom is the foundation of Stoicism and the only path for a sensitive soul to find true strength. Seneca, the great statesman, warned us about the tragedy of dying without ever having truly belonged to ourselves in life. He reminded us that we waste so much valuable time molding ourselves into shapes that others expect us to be. Nature did not create you to be a perfectly trimmed hedge, but a wild forest full of depth and mystery. Returning to your nature means accepting that not everyone will understand your wildness, and that is perfectly acceptable. The path of the Stoic is often a solitary one, because truth requires a courage that the crowd rarely possesses. When you stop people-pleasing, be prepared to be called selfish or arrogant by those who only loved your submission. You will lose relationships that were built on the foundation of your silence and your inability to say no. Let them go like leaves falling in autumn. It is a natural process of shedding what no longer serves your growth. It is far better to be hated for who you truly are than to be loved for a lie you crafted. The cost of freedom is high, but the cost of living a lie is a price your soul cannot afford. You begin to understand that solitude is not loneliness, but a sacred space where you can finally hear your own voice. This is the time to curate your life, keeping only the people and values that align with your new authenticity. Burning the bridges of false relationships lights the way forward to a future built on genuine connection and respect. From this struggle emerges emotional maturity, a state where you are no longer a victim of your own sensitivity. You shift from being reactive, jumping at every shadow, to being intentional, choosing how you engage with the world. Instead of letting the waves of other people's emotions capsize your boat, you learn to adjust your sails and navigate. Your sensitivity creates a boundary, not a weakness. It becomes a sophisticated radar that detects truth and rejects deception. You learn the power of a polite refusal, understanding that saying no to others is often saying yes to yourself. This growth does not happen overnight. It is a slow and steady process of reclaiming the territory of your soul. You practice detachment, allowing emotions to flow through you like water without drowning in the floods of sorrow. Emotional maturity means you can feel deeply without losing your balance, loving others without losing your center. You realize that storms are temporary, but the blue sky of your consciousness is permanent and always present behind clouds. Your past wounds become sources of wisdom, teaching you where your boundaries lie and how to protect your energy. True strength is not about hardness. It is about the flexibility to adapt while remaining true to your core values. Sensitivity is your superpower. It allows you to perceive the world in high definition while others see in black and white. When you stop suppressing it, your sensitivity becomes the fuel for creativity, empathy, and profound human connection. You can now empathize with others without absorbing their pain, standing beside them without carry, This is the ultimate victory of the Stoic sensitive soul, to be in the world but not owned by it. You have built an inner citadel that no insult can breach and no flattery can deceive. You move through life with a deliberate pace, refusing to be rushed by the chaotic urgency of modern society. Kindness is now a choice you make from a place of abundance.